All right, Juan, welcome back to Canteen Talks.
Thank you.
We got session two or phase two as we know it.
Right.
Let's go ahead and before we go into um, phase two,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to ask you. You know, memory issues we have.
No, yeah.
Your drill instructors. Do you remember all of them? How many did you have? Do you remember their names?
Yes. Not all of them. Just two of them. One was Drill Sergeant Milton, who I'll never forget.
Okay.
Because I actually deployed with them after.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. And then Drill Sergeant Pagua, who he was an Italian American, but um, after boot camp was over, or basic training, we call it basic training. He called me in and he wanted to move to LA. Okay. He wanted to see how LA was and he wanted to become a cop and shit like that. Okay. And we just became cool after that. So yeah, okay. But they were hard asses, right? Yeah. Fucking hard asses. But I was at the age. I mean, me, I was only 20 years old and I actually turned 21 during basic training. Mm-hmm. But I felt I was mature, right? And I knew why they were so hard and I respected that and shit. And then when we would ask them questions, they'll tell us, shit like why they joined and stuff like that. And some of it was because it's the same reason why I joined this shit, right? So, and you just get it like, being a drill sergeant, you're teaching and you're a hard ass, but you understand that there's still men like me. So yeah, I just respected him and shit like that. Yeah, Drill Sergeant Milton.
All right,
yeah.
Well, good stuff. Well, thanks for sharing that. All right, let's kind of go into. So you graduate. Mm-hmm. Do you have like a 10-day liberty or 10-day libo after your boot camp and get to go back?
No, basic training, no, because my basic training and my MOS training were at the same fucking same base. Okay, yeah, so same base.
You weren't allowed to take a
no.
In the legal.
Well, I mean, yeah, yes and no. So graduation, my parents came up there. Okay. My girlfriend came up there. She surprised me, and I think we only had like a week or 3 days or 4 days until I started my MOS training.
So you got a few days off.
Yeah, a few days off. Yeah.
Okay, you went straight to MOS, or did you go to combat school? How does it work for you guys?
So back then it was your basic training, yes. Right? 9 weeks, and then depending on your MOS, okay. However long. Like so, for like medics, it's like a year. Okay. For medics in the army is like a year for their MOS training. Then me, since I was only a truck driver, it was like a fucking month, right? Okay. So yeah, that was.
So for example, every Marine is known as riflemen. So we go to boot camp. We all learn how to fire a weapon.
Right.
But then we all go to combat school. If you're a grunt or an infantryman, you go to SOI, School of Infantry.
Okay.
Everybody else, regardless of MOS, we go to in San Onofre. What's it called? Not so School of Infantry is the other one. Mm-hmm. It's I can't believe I'm trying to brain for it right now.
No, that happens. It's been so long and shit that.
No, I talk about it all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
I forget. But
it happens. Maybe Bart knows.
Right, maybe right. So we go to combat. What is it called? After we go before MOS, MCT.
Okay, I heard MCT. Yeah.
So every Marine goes through that unless you are a infantryman and you go to SOI. Okay. So we all go to Marine combat training. The Army doesn't have that sort of stuff. You just go straight to MOS.
Yeah, you go straight to MOS.
Okay.
I mean, Army had so many jobs.
Yeah.
Because even infantry, either you're light infantry or you're mechanized infantry. Mechanized infantry is you deal with the tanks and the Bradleys and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, Army was just so big and huge.
Sure.
And they just have so many jobs. It's an MOS. It's not, and I know a lot about the Marines because my brother-in-law's a Marine.
Okay.
And yeah, everybody's infantry, no matter what you do, right? You're infantry first.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it was a lot different, a little bit different, yeah.
Yeah. So all right, so let's talk about MOS. What was MOS school like?
It was just like going to fucking JUCO, dude. Tell you the truth.
Tell me about what
how
you're exactly worked.
So all they did for me, was move you barracks, right? Mm-hmm. And you still had drill sergeants, right? But the drill sergeants were just basically taking you and marching you to the classrooms.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you had
weren't yelling at you anymore and all that junk?
No.
Okay.
No, it was a lot, But I mean, of course, they maintain the level of fucking respect and discipline and all that shit, right? But weekends off.
Okay.
And you were just going to a classroom or going to the fucking what is it, motor pool?
Okay.
and driving the trucks and shit, learning fucking skills and whatever, parking and all that shit. Yeah, 5 tons, the trailers and yeah.
So now I do have a question, because this is a very common thing that I hear with Marines, some Army personnel that I've talked to. Alcoholism, huge.
Oh yeah.
In the military, right?
Oh yeah.
A lot of drinking, a lot of pounding, let's call it that.
Fuck yeah.
And it usually starts at MOS school for us.
No, over here too.
Okay, tell me about your experience when you finally got. Obviously, you say you're 21.
I turned 21.
Okay, so you're now aka legal age.
Right.
Some folks are barely 18, 17.
I
turned 19 in boot camp.
Yeah, I was a Class 6 master, bro. Because a lot of them were 21. So I mean, I'm probably incriminating myself though, but fucking, I was the one buying it for I was buying it for those fucking.
I would think you guys have like an enlisted club there, the E club.
Yeah, it was for the officers, and then they have the enlisted club. But the Class 6, you heard of the Class 6?
No.
So the Class 6 was our liquor store.
Okay.
On base.
Okay.
They just couldn't call it
PX, I believe.
Well, no, we have PX too,
okay.
right? Like, which is our Walmart, right? Yes. Fucking, but no, it was just straight.
Class 6.
It was just liquor. Liquor. It was just liquor store. Really? Liquor store, yeah, with chips and all that. But it was liquor. Okay. It was the place where they just sold liquor, like I don't know, like a fucking Bevmo or some shit, right? Okay. Small Bevmo. And they called it Class 6. They couldn't call it liquor store on base, so they called it Class 6.
Class 6.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah. So yeah, that was.
So you obviously 21. Everybody put money in the kitty.
Yeah.
And you were the one shopping.
I was one shopping, or yeah. And
so were you drinking every night, or were you drinking just on weekends?
I'll probably drink like on a weekend, on Saturday and shit, and then fucking Sunday, fucking chill. Yeah, but I mean, you had motherfuckers that were drinking in the barracks, and they were alcoholics. Man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Trust me, I was going through some stuff recently in my garage, and I found old pictures. Oh yeah. 19 years old, out of North Carolina, bunch of buddies, the WMs, myself, WMs are the women Marine, right? And we're all just out there, and you see pictures of us just drinking, drunk off our asses. We drank every day. Damn. Even when we had inspection, we would have one foot locker, one wall, because we had wall
lockers. Yeah.
It was 4 men to a room, or 4 Marines to a room, and we had our wall lockers there. And one of them we stocked up with all the booze, and all the other ones had our uniforms nicely. So they come and inspect. You leave that one locked. Yeah. Everything else, and it's good to go, right? Right.
Yeah, no, same here. Yeah, and of course you can have it in the barracks, right? So these are canteen cups.
Yeah.
But the actual canteens were plastic and green for us.
Yep.
So those were.
You fill them up.
Yeah, some we would mark them with like a small dot on the bottom or some shit, like.
So
this one had that one. Yeah, only we knew and shit right there. Yeah. So
very cool, man.
Yeah.
So alcoholism is huge, and so let's talk about 4 weeks in motor team training, or what is it called in the Army? Not motor team.
It's called motor transport operator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Motor transport operator.
Yeah.
Okay. So you complete your school. Any injuries while you were there, or
no?
Probably just the alcoholism part of just drinking.
Yeah, just drinking it, but there was no injuries there. I mean, yeah.
So you get your first set of orders, and now you got to go to your
duty station.
Right?
Yeah.
Where was that? And what did you think about when they finally sent you out?
So with the Army, you're done with your MOS training, and then they send you back home for 14 days.
Send you home?
Yeah.
Okay.
They send you home for 14 days.
This is your little time.
This is my little time.
Okay.
Right. And keep in mind, this is a year after 9/11. I'm sorry.
9/11. Okay.
And matter of fact, during my MOS training, we had a ceremony for the yearly, the anniversary of the attacks, the first year anniversary of the attacks. So when we were getting our orders in MOS, and they were reading it, they told me Fort Stewart, 3rd in Georgia.
Georgia, okay.
3rd Infantry Division. When the drill sergeant saw that and he told me, he's like, I said, what? Yeah, you won't be there long. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, they're about to deploy.
Oh, shit.
I said, really? I said, yeah, they're about to go to Kuwait. And this is before the Iraq War started. Okay. Not the Gulf War, the second one. Yeah. Iraqi freedom.
Yeah, that's Iraqi.
Yeah, Iraqi freedom. So I'm like, I paid no attention to it. Like, So I go do my 14 days, whatever, back home, and then I was supposed to report in Georgia in November of 2002. Okay. And my dumbass But as soon as I got home, I got my plane ticket to go to fucking Georgia, and I'm thinking, Georgia, you fly into Atlanta, and then you go to wherever, and not knowing that fucking my duty station is 4 hours away from Atlanta. Okay. So I had to fly into Atlanta and get a flight to Savannah. Okay. I didn't know that shit. I just said, fuck it.
They didn't set you up with everything? You had to do it yourself?
You have to do it yourself, and then they pay you after, right?
Okay.
So yeah. So I did it right. When I got home, I said, I'm going to do it right away, knock it out, and I'll worry about it when I get there. I get to fucking Atlanta, and I go to a taxi. I get my bags, and I go to a taxi. Like, hey, man, I'm trying to get to Savannah. He goes, Savannah? I go, yeah, man. He's like, no, you're fucking crazy. I said, what do you mean? Trying to get to my duty station. He's like, no, man, Savannah's 4 hours away, bro. I'm not going to fucking drive that much. It's going to cost you like $600. I was like, fuck. He goes, Greyhound Station's right there. Yep. Went to the Greyhound Station. 7 hours later, I'm going to my duty station, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get to my duty station like at midnight, 1 a.m. And I remember that first morning, the Angels were playing the Giants in the last game of the World Series.
Okay.
So
I think it's the last time the Angels were in.
Yeah. Right.
I gotta take a shot.
But I was like, fuck, I need to see this game. This is part of home, right? I'm not an Angels fan. Yeah. But I mean, it's the Angels, right? Fucking, So there's 4 other guys in a fucking like little room that had 4 bunks. And I told, hey man, I know you guys are trying to sleep, but can I watch the World Series? And I'll turn the volume all the way down. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And I don't know why, because I was so far away from home, the Angels won that shit. And I was like, fuck yeah. Yeah, I was like, fuck it. Because I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute. Just because they're from, LA or whatever.
Right.
I should be fucking real. But whatever. It was like, I was feeling close to home already, right? I guess I was already feeling fucking homesick.
Sure.
So yeah, that happened and shit. And then I get to my duty station. I get to my unit. Someone picks me up from the little processing center that they have there. And I show up, and they're already in full fucking operations and shit. They had 9 o'clock formation already and shit like that. And I'm showing up to the motor pool, and I'm just standing right there. Somebody just dropped me off, and I'm just standing right there. And they're like, go look for Sergeant Rouse. And I'm walking around, and excuse me, Sergeant, there's Sergeant Rouse around here. He's like, yeah, go over there. He's right there. So and they're at the wash rack, and I'm fucking with my duffel bag and all kinds of shit, my papers and shit. And I go up to him and say, hey, Sergeant Rouse, fucking private, PFC Sandoval. I was a PFC already. Okay. PFC Sandoval reporting. Okay, so what the fuck you want me to do? Oh, I don't know, Sergeant. No, fuck out my face, man. Go do something else and shit, man. I'm fucking busy over here and shit. So I stood in that motor pool for 2 hours, dude, with the fucking papers in my hand and duffel bag, shit, like an idiot. Waiting for fucking, someone to tell me it's so yeah, but that was a reputation that, that Sergeant Rouse fucking had and shit. And one of the E4, one of the fucking 7-8 year fucking E4 corporals, right? Those guys that just want to stay under the radar and fucking, do their time. And, he goes, hey, what's up? Sandoval, like, what's up? He's like, you're Mexican, huh? I go, yeah. Yeah, so am I. I'm like, where are you from? He goes, East LA. I'm like, fuck, dude, East LA, over here in fucking Georgia. I'm like, yeah. He's like, hey, don't worry about it, man. So Rouse does that shit to everybody. Here, man. Here, your paper. You're going to be in this platoon. So, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, and then we're in the greens, right? Very next day, they call us a formation, and we're getting our fucking desert BDUs. So they're like, yep, next week we're going to Kuwait.
Fuck, so that...
Yeah, and they told us we're training. Because Fort Stewart, 3rd Infantry, was always going to different countries to train. They were selecting units to train. And we thought it was normal, right? Yeah. Matter of fact, 3rd ID now is in Poland. Okay. Why they're in fucking Poland? Maybe because of the fucking Ukraine shit, whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, and I guess they always say because we're trained. Yeah, they call it fucking training. Shit. Yeah. Because in the Army, there's a training site in Barstow called Fort Irwin. Okay. It's called the National Training Center. And all the units in the Army go there for war games. Okay. And fucking 3rd ID was going there like, bam. That's a different story. I got fucking stories for instance. Yeah. That's another fucking, I think another interview. Right?
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so we're getting our desert fucking everything, desert 10 BDUs. And yeah, we're going to Kuwait. And yeah, November, December, and by February, we're already in Kuwait. Okay. And we're set up in Camp New York in the middle of the fucking desert, in the Kuwaiti desert. until March when that shit popped off.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
So now we're getting into the crazy stuff. But so let me kind of preface this by saying I don't want you to necessarily share anything that's going to trigger any bad memories, any nightmares at night, things like that. Anything bad, just speak with what you feel comfortable in sharing. The whole idea of Canteen Talks is for us to just get our voices out there,
right?
Share your stories, and hopefully help others as they navigate moving into the civilian world, as they navigate dealing with the VA and things of that nature, and just kind of at the same time open eyes to family members, because a lot of them don't know what it is that you deal with or I deal with in here in our heads, right? There's stuff that goes on in there. They don't understand why we wake up at night and just yell, fuck you, or whatever happens, right? The pains that we feel in our bodies, the chronic pain that we feel, that they don't know, I was sharing earlier with an earlier interview that I did, and I was in Mexico, or like last month, or earlier this month actually, and as I was at the airport getting ready to come home, I was telling the folks as I was getting in, they're like, some guys like, well, you don't look like there's anything wrong with you. You look pretty fit, pretty strong. I was like, that's the beautiful thing is that, I was built really strong coming out of the Marine Corps. I was really fit and had a good size to myself. But what you don't see are the musculoskeletal pains that you live with, the popping knees, the throbbing knees, the pain that shoots down your shins, your feet pain, or the boots you wear. There's no freaking Dr. Scholl's in there. It's all flat, hard rubber, stomp your heels, when you're walking, and all that comes up, and you don't realize it when you're young. They give you Motrin when you complain about pain. You deal with it, right? You suck it up, and shit, here we are. I'm almost 50 and fucking in the mess. So with that being said, that's the whole idea. So let's kind of transition now into your deployment, and talk about whatever you feel comfortable with sharing. And for myself, in between, let's talk about that and how it's affected you.
Right. So, first part of the interview, it's fucking funny, haha, shit, right? And I mean, don't get me wrong. There's good things about being in the military. Absolutely. Very good things. People you meet, make you feel good, and the events that happen and shit like that. But again, like you said, I'm fucking funny on the outside. I'm a funny guy and shit, but there is triggers, right? And I'm not saying, because I wasn't in the Army, I was, like they say, I was in the rear with the gear. I was in a support battalion.
Sure.
So I was in a truck, right? I was on the road. When it popped off, when we were in Kuwait, and Bush said, "Okay, let's go." See, I went twice. So the first deployment, I think it was a lot easier than the second.
How long was your first deployment for?
First one was 6 months. 6 months. Right. But that's
what made it a little bit easier.
Because as soon as we're driving into the berm, we call it the berm, which is a border. We call it the berm. There was a whole unit surrendering already. Surrendered. Okay. Iraqi unit surrendered already. And while we're driving through villages and shit, they're fucking waving at us, American this, American. It wasn't until we get closer to Baghdad that's when the shit, right? Okay. And keep in mind, we're the main support battalion, so we're carrying all the beans and bullets and all the food and everything. So we had to wait for them to take over a town. Excuse me. And then we move in behind them and shit. So we would see the damage right after. So there was one incident where we were waiting for a day for them to take over that town, and I guess it was pretty.
Because they're out there fighting.
Yeah, they're out there fighting it, and usually we'll take 2 hours. We'll be if I go into this town. Okay. First Cav is out there. First Cav was a unit that was out there.
As in cavalry.
Cavalry, yeah. First Cavalry, yeah. Okay. And First Cavalry's out there. They'll take over in 2 hours. They'll fucking handle it. But this one took like 6 hours. So we start moving, pushing through. We start moving it, and we see. I saw a baby shoe. Right, and I'm thinking nothing of it. Yeah, I saw a baby shoe. And then move up, and you see blood, and then now I don't know if it was the baby or not. I know it was a soldier for sure, but it was flesh.
Yeah.
And it was, you see the ammo pouches and stuff like that, you know, and it's just flesh. And I don't know if baby's involved or not, but I'm thinking, why is there a baby shoe there, right? So, yeah, you see the flesh and fucking, you know, it's a soldier, and then you see it's fucking damage. And that was the very first time I seen a dead body, right? Other than you go to a funeral and shit like that, but that didn't get to me, dude. It didn't get to me.
No, but I'm sure there's some fucking.
But no, other shit later on. Worse that got to me.
Yeah.
Because
that's still rough.
Yeah, I mean, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll never fucking get it.
Remember it,
yeah,
right? So
and it was
something that's stuck in your mind, bro.
So, and what's weird about it, whenever I get those, I mean, I guess you can call them flashbacks.
Sure.
It's the smell. So like you're driving down the street, and they're pouring hot asphalt.
Okay. Yeah.
It's burnt asphalt. It's burnt asphalt from when a fucking missile hit or something, an explosion went off, and then the burnt flesh. So whenever I smell the hot asphalt, I can smell that shit a mile away, and that brings back it takes you. So shit like that. But I mean, like I said, that didn't really because you just move on. It was part of it. You understand that. Not everybody understood it that way, but you know, me, I had to fucking, you know, we move on. So that was an initial push. Once we got into Baghdad, we were staying at a camp called Dogwood.
Okay.
And the neighboring villages loved us there, right? Because in the army, we wore patches.
Okay.
To signify our unit.
Okay.
So we had the broken TVs, blue and white stripes.
Okay.
But of course, when you're deployed, it's colored to the uniform. So the Iraqi people, remember us from the fucking patch.
Okay.
And that'll go to play later on. Okay. Why that's important.
Okay.
We were actually friendly to the fucking, you know, of course, if you're being engaged, of course, you know, fuck that, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, because we're doing supply routes every night into Baghdad.
Okay.
And the villages already knew us and shit like that. So that's why when I say the first time was a lot easier than the second time.
Okay.
But we did get hit with an IED, and back then IEDs weren't even heard of. IEDs weren't being heard of until like year 2 of the war, year 3 of the war. But we got hit with an IED escorting reefer trucks.
Really?
With food that were supplying our mess halls. Because the mess halls were being managed by a civilian company that was mostly employed by Sri Lankans. So they flew in Sri Lankans, and they made a camp for them to just work on those fucking mess halls.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we were escorting the reefer trucks that were holding all the fucking cold food and all that shit. Okay. And on the way back, that's when they hit us with the IED. But they missed us.
Okay.
Well, I felt the heat. There was no shrapnel or anything like that, because it was when they were first beginning to use those IEDs. Okay. So when they did the investigation, they had said that I guess the guy, it was 2 a.m, the guy fell asleep. He was waiting for us, you know, and I guess he fell asleep when he woke up. We're already past his fucking.
That saved you, because it would have.
Oh yeah. Right. So and the thing is, when we went, our vehicles weren't armored.
Okay.
They were soft shell Humvees.
Really?
I mean, I'm talking about.
Do you know why?
Because they deployed us so fucking quick. We're using fucking 1991 trucks.
Of course, yeah. Because
the Gulf.
Gotta get rid of old gear.
Well, no, because we're deployed so quick. They didn't have time to ship all our equipment.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so we went to go fucking sign out fucking Gulf War fucking vehicles, dude. 998s, 997s and shit. You know, and we're talking about nowadays, they're like 2011s or whatever. I don't know what the fuck series number is now, but yeah. So that, yeah. So yeah, that was our first experience with an IED, shit like that. But after that, it was just normal operations, you know. I mean, there was some skirmishes here and there, but for the most part, we didn't lose anybody, thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
In our unit, fucking unit. But there was other people from my company that were attached to the infantry units, sure. And yeah, they saw fucking shit.
They saw action.
They saw action. Yeah. They got hit with rounds and shit like that, shit like that. So, yeah, it wasn't towards the end of our deployment that we started hearing more about IEDs, but that we were at the end of our deployment. So the thing is, well, I go back to the patch.
Sure.
So our replacing division was 4th Infantry, and they have an ID patch.
Okay.
But, and the way the Army worked, Army implemented those green camo. They wanted to mimic the Marine digital camo. Some Army wanted to do that, but it was green. It was like green and fucking turquoise and teal in the fucking desert, dude. They look like pickles, bro.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they look like pickles and cucumbers out there, right? So the Iraqi people saw this.
Okay.
Hey, that's not third ID, right? Yeah. So, and they're out there with green Humvees or 4th Infantry and shit. I mean, I'm not saying they're like fucking not a good unit, right? They're another infantry division, but I mean, there was something new, and these motherfuckers, I'm sorry, the Iraqis or whoever, because there was more terrorist groups coming in from Jordan, from fucking Yemen and all that fucking shit. And they were starting to hit them, and they were going down by the thousands.
Really?
Like in
all
a week.
Because of fucking uniform.
With uniform, and they were a different unit.
In the patch.
So, but we left and we came back home, and we thought, oh, we did our fucking duty, came back as heroes and buying cars up the ass, right? Start fucking, living it up because we all that save money now. Yeah. You just came from Iraq, a fucking discount, right? Shit like that, right? Okay. So yeah, we're fucking, think we're good and shit. And then 6 months later, hey, guess what?
Okay.
Your return, you're going back. Yeah. Well, yeah, 6 months we got the orders, but we stayed back at Fort Stewart for a year.
Okay.
And here we go. We got deployed again in 2005.
Okay.
No, 2004, I believe.
Let me ask you this, man.
Yeah.
As you got back from your first deployment, and it took you a year before you got sent into number 2, what was that like? What was that like being back and being away from? And again, you may not have been in the hard action. You were there. You saw things. You heard things.
Right.
You experienced things. You were always on alert.
Right.
There's a level of alertness that you have to be in. Yeah. Even if you don't face anything.
Right.
But now you come back to, it is a civilian life, but it's back into the base where you're not around that. You're safe, secure.
Right.
But something's got to.
So it was different with me because I didn't have my family out there. I was still living as a single soldier.
Okay.
And I was in the single soldier barracks, right?
Okay.
Because like dorms.
Yep.
But of course you have other, your brothers and sisters that have families.
Yeah.
We had one getting off the bus coming back because we come back to our Army airfield and we get bused into our fort, and one sergeant, never forget him, Sergeant Anderson, he stayed quiet. Everybody's happy on the bus, talking about what they're gonna do and this and this and that. He stayed quiet and he got off the bus and he actually fucking drop kicked his wife.
What?
Because he found out that, because what happens when the Army takes off, they have reservists take over the base to fucking, maintain the operation. Yeah. And turns out his wife was fucking cheating on him and shit. So you got shit like that, right? Yeah. Coming back. And me, since I was single, I really didn't, I was around other single soldiers. Drinking, partying and shit. And I was, I had bought my truck. I'm trying to, so I was always occupied and shit. And I really didn't feel that, cause I was always occupied and I was on base. But I heard shit. I was going with my fucking platoon sergeants to go pick up soldiers that were beating up their wives and getting into fights. Yeah. They called it the Marne Cooler, the jail down place. They called Marne Cooler because it was cold as shit. Okay. The little jail cell.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we had a mechanic that he lost it. Like he didn't talk to nobody. He just stayed in his room. He would shower. Yeah. They had to bring him food, shit like that. So yeah, I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I was starting to see what this shit does to families now, right? Yeah. To men.
Yeah.
And women. Shit, the women too.
It's crazy, man. It's a tough thing, man.
Right.
I know some of them early on they start sensing it, and others don't sense it until you're out civilian world. So, man, you just shared a bunch of crazy stories. I hope you're okay with that.
No, yeah.
Anything else you'd like to share, or?
Well, the most of it that really got me after I got on and what I dealt with after was the second time I went.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the second one.
So the second time, IEDs, and they were called EFPs now, which is difference. IEDs, an improvised explosion device.
Were you in the same place, or where exactly? Because I unfortunately did not have a chance to go to combat, even though that was my reason for joining the Corps. It was giving back to my country and training and learning to be fucking trained to go fucking to combat. It never happened. My contract completely ended 17 days before 9/11.
Oh wow!
Think about that.
Yeah.
And I was attached to 2nd Battalion, 23rd Marines here in Encino. That's an infantry unit. It's snipers. And I leave, and 17 days later, fucking all this shit happens. It's like.
So let me ask you this: did you have stop loss in the Marines?
What is that? Never heard of it.
So in the Army, they had a thing called stop loss.
Okay.
Or they wouldn't let you get out.
Really?
They're stopping the loss of personnel.
Okay.
Which
at that time it was.
So if you were in the Army and you were in that situation like 17 days before 9/11 or whatever, I think they would have stopped loss your ass.
How would they have known?
Yeah, or they would have called you back. They would have had orders to call you back.
Okay, so that's the funny thing is I remember calling back my unit.
Yeah.
And speaking to, we had a gunny, I can't remember his name, but the gunny, he was in charge of discharging and getting people promoted and shit like that. And I called him back right away and I said, dude, how do I get back in?
Get back in, yeah.
I want to go. He's like, you unfortunately are completely done with your contract. It's harder to get back in now. He goes, had you still been in like the ready reserves, and we could bring you back.
Well, how many years did you do?
I did 6 years, but it was all reserves, right? So I did all that, and then the last so-called 2 years, because I signed in early.
Okay.
It was all wasted.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So, because even when I was out the second time, after my second deployment, I was back home for like fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about the military. And on my fucking last 8th year, I got orders to go back.
Did you?
Yeah. And that was another story how I got out of that shit. But
Tell
me
about you went back and where exactly.
So I'm back then. They had created the IZ, the International Zone, the Green Zone. I don't know if you heard about the Green Zone.
Never, not familiar.
So the Green Zone was the middle of Baghdad, where one of the biggest fucking of Saddam's fucking palaces were.
Oh, okay.
And it was like the embassy to everywhere.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was in the Green Zone for the first 6 months.
And that's like a hot zone, isn't it?
It was a hot zone. Yeah, it was a hot zone. Yeah, we're gonna hit rockets, but it wasn't. It wasn't like a FOB, which is a forward operating base. Forward operating base is like you're out in the desert, just you're controlling your own. But here we had fucking 1 perimeter, 2 perimeters, 3 perimeters, and each perimeter is fucking guarded by a fucking country.
Okay.
The whatever. So I was there for an IZ for 6 months. Then after the 6 months, we went to forward operating base Falcon, which is about 15 or 10 miles down south.
Let me ask you, how long were you out there?
The second time, it was a year.
Fuck, okay.
Yeah, it was a year.
6 months.
Yeah, it was a year. So I did a total of a year and 6 months between the 2 deployments. Jesus. But the second time, they were getting fucking creative with their fucking explosives, dude.
Okay.
I mean, it got to the point where we called it 1 for 3.
Tell me more.
1 body, 3 bags.
Oh.
So they were fucking melting us, dude.
Okay.
These fucking projectiles were fucking melting the Humvee, melting bodies, melting teeth, even melting dog tags.
Wow.
That's how much heat. Yeah. But these guys were measuring our vehicles.
Okay.
So they were measuring the front of the vehicle to the middle of the vehicle. Okay. So they'll set their laser here, but the projectile here. Okay. So when the front of the Humvee hits that laser, it's hitting the middle of the vehicle, taking out the driver, the fucking the TC, which is the tank commander, basically the passenger, and the gunner.
Jesus.
And it's melting.
Yeah.
It's fucking melting. I mean, talking about you're scraping off the fucking vehicle and the fucking body parts.
Yeah, it's like your incinerator. Just put them right there and belt right through. So
well, it was. Yeah, so IED is an explosive.
Yes.
EFP is an electronically fired projectile.
Fuck.
And it's just a projectile, fucking heat shit. So that's why we called it 1 for 3. So yeah, one body, 3 bags, because yeah, and it's the orange fucking chemical or whatever you see in the hospitals and shit.
Yeah, and you experienced it, you observed it, you witnessed, you smelled it.
Well, because we had to go recover those vehicles.
Yeah.
Or what was left of it.
Yeah.
And again, hot asphalt. Yeah. The burnt asphalt, burnt flesh, right? You fucking smell from there. So you get to fucking get used to that fucking smell, right? And then other times, yeah.
Does that have an effect on your breathing, your lungs, all that shit at all?
Not really. I mean,
a lot of folks that came back from
I think
the Rock Desert Storm did the fucking, what do you call it, the oil, how does it be?
Oh yeah. It was constant. Right? This was after, right?
Correct.
So after, but I mean that's just, it was a lingering smell.
Okay.
It was right.
Yeah.
I think what hurt my lungs more was a fucking burning the shit.
Really?
Burning the shit. We had a fuck. There was a name for it. There's a name for it. I forget, but there's a name because we had porta potties.
Okay.
But there's nobody there to service them. Nobody to service them. Yeah. So we had fucking pits under the fucking porta potty, and we take them out, throw some JP8 on that motherfucker, and line that shit up. And you have to mix it.
Yeah.
You have to fucking mix
Somebody to stir it.
Yeah. No, of course we don't have masks. We don't have fucking
No.
We had the gas mask, but we had to use that just in case.
Gotta keep that in case.
Yeah. So yeah, you're fucking smelling that shit. You're really shit. And I think
that can't be good for you.
No, it's not. So, but I think burn pits. There you go. Yeah. Or the burnout. We call them burnout latrines, right? Okay. I think now they're just started like a year ago for people to register in case there is a fucking compensation.
Sure.
Then you're already registered. Yeah. So once you have the cancer, then I guess you can fucking register and get compensated for it. So yeah. But yeah. But
right, so you spent a year out there, and 6 months, and then tell us more. Tell me more.
I mean, these guys were using fucking dogs. Anything that we were friendly to. Then there's daisy chains.
Okay. So
like the barriers on the freeways, the metal railings.
Yep.
Well, they were hiding fucking ordnance behind that shit.
Right behind it.
So we're going down fucking.
Going by, they trigger it.
Yeah, and then these fools were fucking digging holes in the concrete, putting a fucking IED or whatever it was, and then fucking smoothing it out and shit. And you can't tell.
Yeah.
Repainting it, and you can't tell. Fuck. And then they're using kids. Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely nuts.
And I mean, I know it's serious, but there's a funny story and I want to share.
Sure.
MREs, right?
Yep.
They're using MREs. We had so many fucking MREs that we were tossing them to kids when we were rolling through villages, right? Okay. And we're tossing the kids. They had the Muslim MREs.
Really?
That were fucking Muslim friendly, like lentils and fucking, they didn't have the fucking foods that we used to eat.
Because, I got you.
Because they had different, right?
Yes.
But these kids didn't want that shit.
Really?
Yeah, they wanted fucking lasagnas and fucking, burritos and the fucking steak with mushrooms and shit, right? Like, hey, Americans eat good, right? Fuck yeah. The nacho cheese spreads and shit, right? So we're like, okay, well, let's toss it to the fucking kids. Well, fucking kids were opening them and fucking taking it, gutting it down. They're just leaving the wrappers there, the brown.
Yeah.
So these guys would pick those up, slip a fucking ID in and shit, and just toss it back in there, thinking that's trash.
Okay. Looking
just like the other trash.
Or
just roll over it, or they're fucking remote in. Wow. So we found out they did that.
Crazy. That's fucking nuts, dude.
Well, they found out we did that, and I feel bad for the kids. But we were getting those MREs, eating them in those empty brown bags. We were fucking shitting in them. And tossing them back to the kids in the village, bro. Because we figure, those are the kids of those guys that are fucking with us, So, yeah. I'm not proud of it, right? I'm not fucking proud of it, but that's just one of the things that happen out there, And I mean, I'm not saying I personally did it, but I mean, I was in the vehicle when we're getting tossed out, right? Either I was driving or I was a fucking PC in that fucking vehicle, right? So yeah, poor kids, fucking, they're opening them because we would heat seal them and shit with a lighter. and they never fuck with us after that and shit. And then,
shit,
yeah. So
that's just crazy.
Yeah, But again, we're just so pissed that they were fucking with us. I mean, we're being helpful, you know.
Yeah.
They were begging for us to fucking help people out. And here we are, you know, tossing food to kids and shit, or to even families. The family eating that shit too, right?
Sure.
So yeah, that fucking happened and shit.
Holy crap, man! That's fucking a story right there.
Yeah, but I mean, the second time they were hitting us way more. They were putting fishing wire on the overpasses. I mean, thick fucking fishing wire, and you know, cutting fucking gunners' fucking necks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
They're up top, and as the wire comes through. Fuck.
Yeah, the overpass, the pedestrian overpasses. So now what we had to do is we had to fucking stop and then scan.
Every so many feet.
Every overpass.
Every overpass.
And while we're stopping, and you got to imagine it's a 20 vehicle convoy.
Yeah.
And with every third or fifth vehicle, it's a gun truck.
Okay.
And you're stopping a whole convoy. So it's like an accordion effect, right? You stop, and then the rear of the convoy doesn't stop yet. Yeah. And you know, so you're stopping for a good 10 fucking seconds. Guess what? We're getting ambushed on the fucking scanning overpasses and shit. Wow. So yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
We got hit by just the ringing in the ear. I mean, luckily it was just shrapnel. Mm-hmm. And just my window. And the second time we had the up armor.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were getting smarter. We were getting smarter. But that raises your fucking attention level now, right? Like, you're fucking watching your back, even at fucking anywhere, right? So, and with that, I carry that shit now.
I was gonna say that's gotta stick with you, because I know I didn't go to combat,
right?
But I have that constant alertness where I'm constantly looking. You know, when I go to restaurants, I gotta watch where the entrances, the exits are, and I've got to have my back to a wall because I don't want anybody else, so I can see everything that's happening. So I can only imagine what it's like.
Ren, I went to the movies today.
Okay.
I want to have a fucking family, you know, my kid's a senior in high school. I'm not gonna be able to do shit like this with my kid, you know, for a long time. So I said, fuck it, let's go to the movies. Okay. Tell me why this guy in front of me, older gentleman, gets up and goes to the restroom. Fine. I know where the exits are already, right? Yep. And you already have a plan. And that's the thing. That's the thing with me too. Some shit happens. I'm telling my kids go that way. I'm going this way, or we know a plan, right? An easy route. I'm always doing that wherever we fucking go. Yep. So tell me why this old gentleman. We know that the bathroom is down the fucking stairs to the left. This guy gets up and goes to the back of the theater up there. Okay. And then he comes back down, and I said, oh fuck, he didn't know where he's going. But then he goes in front of the screen, in front of all the seats, and goes back up again.
So now you're thinking the worst?
I'm looking back.
Yeah.
How many theater shootings have been in fucking America?
It's happened.
So I'm fucking looking back, and I'm ready to tell my kids, get the fuck down. Yeah. Because he got up there and he's looking around like, fuck, dude, not now. Yeah. Not now. And I'm fucking. Yeah. I could only imagine. Yeah. So I'm not even watching the movie. I'm just looking back, watching him and shit. And then he comes fucking back down, and I'm fucking getting ready to go. Yes, my kids. It's me, my wife, and my 2 kids. So I'm ready to fucking jump on them in case whatever happens. Yeah. And all we're thinking in my head, right? And it's funny, right? But it's not funny. That if he does start shooting, I'm gonna tell my kids to get down. I'm the one that's gonna get up. Hey, bitch, hit me, motherfucker, hit me. Get his attention off. Yeah. I'm playing this shit while the movie's going on.
Yeah. It's funny. I think the same way.
Yeah.
And my wife knows. My kid knows. Yeah. Every time we go somewhere, they understand how I scan. I prepare us, and I'm like, in case something happens, here's what we do.
Yeah.
And it's stuck in my head. And sometimes it's just me. My wife already knows. Just by looking at me, she knows that I'm putting a strategy in my head as to what the game plan is, and obviously your game plan has got to be a lot more intense because of what you experienced, man. It's rough. Man.
It's rough, yeah. It's fucking rough, and especially now, you know, with everything that's going on, and you know, but
yeah, asshole's gonna have a fucking gun. Yeah, and you got constantly. I would have done the same thing. I would have been staring at that motherfucker. Never got my eyes off balls. I would have been telling the kids, everybody, like, hey, let's start kind of fucking working our way. This nut job is over here. You know what I mean? Yeah. And at the end, everything's. But I would imagine your heart rate was up. Your adrenaline's flowing, and yeah, man.
It's. I mean, you know, people would think, oh, you're fucking crazy, you think too much, but I mean, it's just the shit. People, you go through shit. Yeah. And here's the thing, and it's not just military, man. I mean, I'm not condoning or I'm not defending or anything like that. But people that live their lifestyle, like in gangs or whatever, has been in shooting situations, they go through the same shit.
Absolutely.
They go through the same shit, and they're always on alert. That's why fucking, you know, gangsters or whatever you want to call them, they're always on alert too. Cause fuck, they always got the green light, shit like that, you know.
I got a brother that got shot in the head.
See, sorry.
And he survived and everything, but it's been 20 years now since that happened.
And I know he goes through some fucking shit.
And he obviously has his issues, but
right.
You see how that changed him.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck
it changed him, and how he behaves and how he looks at things, how he watches things. You know, and I try to be the tough brother and snap out of it, you know, trying to help him through the wrong approach, but that's the only way I know.
Yeah.
And but I know what you're saying, man. It's stuff
and this time I'm talking. It's gonna be 20 years since I deployed.
Yeah.
Next year will be 20 years. So when I first got out, 4th of July, I'm home ready. Fireworks are going off. I'm in my bed, fucking pillow over my ears.
Yeah. Kind of like a dog.
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. Let's do this. I know we're gonna go going into the civilian world now.
Right.
Let's take a little break right now.
Okay.
We've been talking for a good amount of time, but it's been fucking amazing. This experience
Thank you, man.
Right now,
Yeah.
Juan has just been absolutely amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Great laughs.
Yeah.
Obviously, I feel my adrenaline rush when you tell me some of the stories that you went through. But I can't say enough. Thank you, man. It's some wow moments, but some hilarious moments. So you can fucking crack up.
Right.
So let's take a little break.
Cool.
And then we'll carry back on to phase 3, and we'll talk about civilian life.
Yeah.
And kind of little things we just touched on right now, you know.
Yeah.
But we'll go from there, man. All right.
Cool.
Let me go ahead and stop this. 1, 2.